Ladies and gentlemen, woo! I wanted to talk about that Apple Vision Pro. Now, ladies and gentlemen, today was an interesting day. I woke up and I saw the WWDC, which is basically Apple's, yearly presentation. Basically, you're excited for the new iPhone, the new MacBooks, the new iPads. Now, I'll be real. I was excited this year because I thought, I was hoping, all right? I huffed the copium. I thought maybe Apple would just make a foldable phone, you know what I mean? Then I would go on Reddit or like 4chan, and then I would just try to see the Apple fans try to like explain why this foldable is going to be better than the other foldables. Anyways, that didn't happen. But boy, oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, we got some Black Mirror on today. This is not a joke. This is not a fake page. This is a model wearing the Apple Vision Pro. Yeah, they got some new goggles, ladies and gentlemen. Some new AR, VR goggles, if you will. Sorry, that's a copium kind of hitting me up there. Now, ladies and gentlemen, tons of companies have made this. Valve has made it through the Index. Meta, all right, Facebook, Oculus has made several actual headsets. Some of them are actually pretty good, like in terms of pricing. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I think the Oculus Quest is pretty reasonably priced, okay? I think it's definitely a million times more affordable than some of the other shit. And of course, they've also got the Meta Quest Pro, which, again, if you looked at the sales for that, it isn't doing so well. And then, of course, you've got mixed reality. This is mixed reality, okay? This isn't like totally committing to the virtual world of Roblox-like graphics, but it also allows you to put augmented reality in the entire world around you. Now, this is something Apple's been kind of doing for the last few years with their iPhones. They actually have really stellar augmented reality tech built into their devices. So they got like a 9-minute presentation of it, and ladies and gentlemen, it appears to be somebody putting on the old helmet and actually browsing through what they could easily do on their actual cell phone. Ladies and gentlemen, you're gonna pay $3,500. Yeah, that's not me memeing. 3,500 US dollars to get this headset. Now, obviously, if you're looking at how smooth it looks, oh wow, probably is going to run smooth. It better run smooth for that price. It better look that goddamn sharp, and this better not just be clever editing, Apple. So as you can see, these two kids are playing, and the guy puts on his like Apple augmented reality, and he can record his children with Apple Vision. Why you couldn't just whip out the iPhone and do that right there and then view this on the couch and save yourself $3,500 is beyond me. Hey, you guys want to make FaceTime calls? Yeah, I used to just put the phone up to my face. Now I have a $3,500 helmet doing the exact same thing. Look at how goddamn dystopian this shit looks. And it's cool that you can open up a FaceTime call on your phone and blow it up to your wall size. But again, I want to ask, how much are people going to be doing this after like 20 minutes of using the device? Arguably, the coolest thing about it probably is the ability for you to use it as a television set. But at the price that they are charging, why the fuck wouldn't you just buy an actual high-def TV? You could buy OLED televisions for that price and get absolutely brilliant picture quality. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of those devices that I genuinely try to question why. Here's a person using a very, very cheap PlayStation 5 in comparison to play some goddamn NBA up on the massive television. All right, or sorry, the augmented reality TV. Now you might be like, whoa, Muda, this must be a crazy killer device. And it kind of is. Obviously, at Apple's website, you can read the Los Angeles Times on the wall. All right, again, why somebody isn't just doing this on their cell phone by scrolling up is beyond me. Maybe even the iPad. I don't know. You've never seen anything like this before, except we have. Nearly every mixed reality headset allows you to actually use, monitors, or allows you to like project the monitor into the world around you or view media in the world around you. This is not revolutionary. This is just needlessly expensive. It's good tech. I'm sure it runs smooth for that price tag, but it is needlessly expensive shit by Apple. Now, of course, some of the features that they have over here, the only cool one I would say is this one where the guy has like multi-monitor settings. And as somebody that uses multi-monitors, having a bunch of monitors, especially if like I'm traveling somewhere and like, hey, I have to have like a multi-monitor workstation setup. Then I'm also carrying my laptop and an even more expensive headset around me in the world, okay? Now, of course, for a device like this, ladies and gentlemen, you may wonder, goddamn, how long does it last? Well, ladies and gentlemen, here at Apple, the engineers have said the external battery supports up to 2 hours of use. Up to 2 hours of use. The moment you start doing anything intensive on it, that shit drops. So, ladies and gentlemen, some of those movies, some which are over an hour and a half, 2 hours long, yeah, all of a sudden you need to be connected. And ladies and gentlemen, one of the worst experiences I ever have with any of these devices is having it tethered to something. One of the only ways that I can play VR games is through Oculus's AirLink, which allows me to wirelessly stream my PC display to the Oculus device. That is genuinely freeing. Now, maybe I'm like not the biggest VR nut because I know a lot of people that love to live in virtual reality. But to me, I think the entire fun of it only lasts for like 20, 30 minutes before, the sweat starts to build up around your eyeballs, and genuinely the batteries start to degrade after that point, and the luster sort of wears off. I honestly cannot imagine myself putting on a headset like this and enjoying like working with it necessarily. Maybe this is great for like certain workstations, or especially if you're like an engineer that constantly is moving around and you need like levels of like LiDAR displays, measurements, and like a computer everywhere you go. That is a very, very specific use case. And obviously Apple showed this during their consumer showcase, which like to expect that the audience is going to spend $3,500 on a headset is actually insane. There's a problem with gaming companies like Sony where like they'll release the PSVR 2, and from what I understand, those devices don't really do so well because A, they're lacking backwards compatibility with a whole arsenal of older software, but that's a whole different issue. But also, they're just really expensive, okay? To expect people to spend and put this much money into something like this, you have to actually give a lot in return. From what Apple has shown with the Vision Pro, it really feels like you're spending $3,500 to effectively use your phone without holding your phone in your hands. Everything that this device does can easily be replicated with a laptop, iPad, or iPhone anyways. And nothing that it does is so wholly unique that you should be spending $3,500 on it. Arguably, the only cool thing that it has is the theater mode, which allows you to project like a 75-inch television anywhere you go. But at that moment in time, isn't it just better to get a fucking projector? Like at that moment, you can have other people sit with you. You can have an actual sound system connected. That's all I'm saying, all right? That's all I'm putting out there. If you want to record your family doing goofy shit, it's very easy to use a top quality smartphone camera and just record, and then you can easily share it and view it with the people around you. And then if you want to FaceTime individuals, what is stopping somebody from taking the call from their MacBook and just carrying it over on their iPhone? See, this is the kind of technology where like they produce it and yeah, it sounds cool on paper, but the practicality of it kind of like withers away real quick. This is one of those technology pieces where I'm interested to see where it goes, but for the price that you're getting right now, and I assume that's why they call it the Pro model, because it is just supposed to be intended for like, I assume, the really, really specific clientele or like maybe businesses, not the average consumer. But when you're looking into a project like this or a process, I feel like the only way this technology can be really usable is if battery life tech gets way better and you can actually use these devices for longer than 2 hours. And also, this whole headset technology, this cumbersome tech, has to wait away. You know, people make the Google Glasses joke all the time. But at least the form factor of the Google Glasses was actually something that was practical if you wanted augmented reality. See, if Apple could have done that, which again, it's a tall order to have this level of processing power in that small of a package with a battery life, in that case, longer than 5 minutes. But obviously, until some significant increases happen, I don't see this technology ever being adopted by the mainstream. That's sort of the thing, right? Like, this is one of those like pieces of tech that you look at for 5 minutes and you're like, yeah, it looks cool. And then you see the price tag and you're like, yeah, fuck that shit. I'm just going to go buy myself a graphics card. For the price that this is at, you might as well just buy yourself the projector, the gaming computer, or gaming console, or the TV of your choice. Spatial OS and Apple's vision is one thing that I don't think many people are going to be looking at with the rose-tinted Apple glasses, if you will. Honestly, though, It's time to see where this goes. Maybe I could be wrong. Maybe people will line up to buy this. Remember, Apple's got that brand power, okay? They got more brand power than Facebook, Valve, whatever. If there's people who are going to go out and buy this shit after what they've seen, it's Apple that can sell it to them. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, $3,500 for a new virtual reality, augmented reality goggle set. Seems a little steep to me, dog. That's all I'm saying. I think it's a lot cheaper for me to use the devices that I have. Honestly, if they charged this price tag for even like a foldable phone or something, that's still really expensive, but at least you can justify because it might be a more practical or usable device by everybody. This right now, obviously the tech is really good. It looks really smooth, and I assume it's going to run that smooth as they've shown it, and that's because of the price tag attributed to it, ladies and gentlemen. This is me, Mutahar, and yeah. This is at least better than the $1,000 stand they had, or the $1,500 stand I remember. That being said, this is me, Mutahar, and I'm out.